Hey, just go like this, Pam.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, how the hell are you? I'm Chronic Chris of AsgardRadio.com, where the gods go to rock. And tonight we are hanging out with Peter Cerman, Rebecca Kelly Hartnett, and we have artist and musician Pamela Jean. And I believe she's from Minnesota.
How about the Vikings, baby? Woo!
You know, since we're going to go there right off the bat, I do like Minnesota. I'm not a fan of their football team, but it's a great state. I'll give it that.
It's a great state to be from.
I got too busy to see how my team ended. My husband and I are Seahawks fans because we're Washington State. So I'm a Lady 12. Seahawks, I got to be supportive of your state team.
Well,
yeah,
I lived in Illinois for many years, so I'm a Bears fan by default. I have been to the Triple H Dome in Minnesota, and I had never been more annoyed in my life. I swear,
I never had a bad time at the Metrodome.
Every 3 to 5 minutes you get I come from the land of the ice and snow, where the midnight runners and the harsh wind blows. Every 5 minutes, I officially hate the immigrant song.
See, you guys, I don't have this kind of problem. I respect every team, and I am still big fan of Britney Spears.
Yeah,
I love
Brittany.
her too.
Just joking.
Justice for Britney.
Yeah, right.
So Pamela, you got a guitar out. It looks like you're ready to hang out and play something, but tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? How'd you get started in music?
I'm Pamela Jean. Yeah, born and raised originally in Minnesota. I left there in 2002, and I've lived in 5 other states since then. Got started on a karaoke dare at my senior all-night party. Was terrified to sing in front of anybody, and everybody loved it. And I was like, I could do something with this, and I just started singing.
Started singing on a dare and has made a living off it. Hell yeah. That's one way to do it.
Yeah.
So what are your musical influences? What do you sit down to listen to when you write music? Or
I
just
listen
need
to
inspiration?
everything. My influences go back like Patsy Cline, Bob Seger, Bruce Springsteen, older stuff. But I mean, I literally listen when I have my shows. I cover everything from Lady Gaga to Johnny Cash. I mean, I'm all over the board. I like everything.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. If you could sit down for dinner with one person, living or dead, who would you want to talk to and what would you want to talk about?
Ooh, that's a tough one. There's a lot of them out there. If I'm going to go like musicians, I think I would sit down with Janis Joplin.
Okay.
And we'd probably have a shot of something together and then just roll with the conversation from there.
It'd probably be a shot of Wild Turkey.
Whiskey Wasted. That's the song I'm going to play for you later.
All right.
So, Pamela, what was the nicest thing a fan ever did for you?
There's been so many nice things done that I couldn't even come up with one. It was like there was all these different things that have flown into my head when you asked that. Back when I ran open mics in San Diego, there were these 2 girls that came to my show all the time, and they puff painted matching t-shirts that says I love Pam on them, and it was a stick figure with big boobs, long hair, and a guitar. And they came to the front row. Like, I'm at my open mic, I barely even knew how to play guitar then, and they were in the front row, like just standing there, like singing along. And one of the girls was a Gemini, so if you've heard my Gemini song, she loved the Gemini song. And it was just like, it was one of the cutest things anybody's ever done at my shows. And a lot of other times, like being up here in the Pacific Northwest, people have brought me hand painted rocks. Everyone paints rocks and hides them up here. And I had a lady who does really cool artwork that came to my show. We were in a rock group together, and she just came and introduced herself, brought me a rock and just gave me a big hug. And she goes, I just love your music. I wanted to introduce myself. And So yeah, there's when you said what's the weirdest thing a fan had done, I honestly couldn't think of anything weird. Everybody's just been very gracious on my journey.
Oh, what I'm wondering is what's the weirdest thing you've witnessed? The one thing that made you turn your head to your bass player and say, dude, did that really just happen?
To be honest, I'm so off the wall and crazy. There's nothing in my brain that I can even think of that was weird. It's just when you're playing in bars and a lot of people are drinking and you're on the road, it's like random things happen all day, every day. And it's just like, you just roll with it.
I feel you. I pretty much lived in a bar for a while, and people down here, the people that know me say if I say something's weird, it's definitely weird because I'm a little weird
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah, if I say something's weird, it's probably like not healthy, borderline tragic.
Well, Pam, if you remember, I don't remember exactly which place we were playing in. That was somewhere in St. Paul or Minneapolis, one of the clubs that we were playing with, band we were in together. But the weirdest thing, do you remember what happened to us when you were in Blue Sapphire?
No.
I remember you looked at me because there was a one lady, well, supposedly fan, or in the audience, and she asked to sign autograph myself on her boob. And you kind of looked at me because she just like pulled her shirt up and she gave me a Sharpie. And I think you gave me a kind of like look like, oh my God, what is she doing? And that was the weirdest thing for me that happened, like, I'm not signing that.
I don't even remember that. I've signed a lot
That
of
was
boobs in my 20-year career in music.
well, but you are a girl. You are a girl, so it's different.
Girls
It's
and
different.
guys. I have no,
So Pamela, can you tell me, and the audience out in the public here, how did you originally meet Peter Cerman here? And what is your
I
history
don't
with him?
remember it. This was like honestly before there was the internet. So I'm sure however we got hooked up with our band was probably through a newspaper. And I was always like looking to, do more projects or recording or whatever. And there was a girl, Lori, I can't remember her last name, but it was all her original music. And that was the band Blue Sapphire. Well, she was having issues with her voice where she wanted another female to come in and sing half of the songs so she could keep her voice strong because she wasn't able to perform the whole show. So I got to come in and sing half of her songs and play with their band.
Yeah, and Pamela, actually, I can answer that question where we met exactly. I remember it was Lake Minnetonka. We were probably 3 or 4 houses down from, oh my God, Stevie Nicks. And there was this lawyer guy, entertainment lawyer guy, who was, he was forming some sort of like a cover band. And I was auditioning for guitar and you were auditioning for vocals. That's where we met. It was a big mansion.
I remember that, yeah, because he had a whole bunch of people coming in that day and we got talking. Yes.
Yeah, that's how we met. And then, I liked your voice and we shared phone numbers. And then I called you. I don't even remember if we had text messaging back then, but I called you.
Yeah. Any of you young people watching, we literally did this industry with no texting, no Facebook, no social media whatsoever. Like you went out, you met people in person, and
you talk to people on the phone.
Yes.
and
That's
flyers.
my history when I started too. It was all old schools before the technology. I worked in radio stations, and then I did all the street team stuff for publications. That's when we would put the flyers on the freaking telephone poles and go and pass out. And yeah, exactly. So it's been kind of interesting for me to transition from that to what it is today for technology and such. So I'm like still trying to play catch up on some of how you do the marketing of.
Well, it's amazing. Like when I release a new song now, I just upload it and the entire world can hear it tomorrow afternoon. Like there's I can sit here and do it all from my living room in a bathrobe. There's no
you don't have to sit there and wait for the album to go to the record store and And that is one thing I do like about social media and YouTube and stuff like that, because back in the day, and Frank Zappa said this best, and this is what's wrong with the radio industry, back in the day, you had some big guy chomping on a cigar behind a big desk that didn't know shit. And he'd sit there and, yeah, we don't know if it's going to sell or not, but we're going to put it on a record. And everything got put on a record. Nowadays, you got some yuppie in a leisure suit. Oh, no, that one's not going to be a hit, so we're not going to record it. But the internet allows you to say, okay, they don't want to record me in the studio. I'm going to go home, record myself in my home studio, put it on YouTube and see how many hits I get.
Yeah. Well, we do a lot of stuff with Facebook and YouTube reels, and we can't believe some of the stuff that goes viral when I'm literally out here pushing like videos on domestic violence and all this stuff I put all this money and time into. And it's like my boyfriend uploaded a video one day of mule deer and in the middle of the road and got like, I don't know, 8,000 views in a day. And I'm like, why can't I get 8,000 views on my music videos in a day?
It's all about content.
Yep. I guess if I have mule deer in my next music video, maybe that's the way to go.
Oh, hey, that's
There you go.
that's
Find out
that's what I
it is.
said. I mean, we're here live on Twitch, and I've been, I did Twitch for 1.5 years, and then I quit for like 6-7 months, and I just started it again. And I've said many times, maybe if I was sitting in a hot tub with a couple of girls, I'd get a lot more viewers.
Yep.
But unfortunately, folks, for you, not that kind of show, not that kind of scene. So
How old were you, Pamela, when you first started playing music? I think you said that, but I missed it. It might have been earlier on before we got onto air here.
Actually, I took 6 years of piano as a kid, and I don't remember what year my mom put us in piano lessons, but I was young. Like, I know I was doing contests at the age of 10 in Minnesota.
what we got?
Pamela,
Pamela
do you-
Jean's record.
Do you remember
What?
this, Pamela?
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
Aw, that's nice photo.
I wish
Yeah.
if I would have known we were going to be on the same show today, I would have dug out that old band picture of us where we look like,
That's-
I don't even
That's
know.
what I'm looking for right now. That's what I'm
Super
looking for. I know I
depressed.
have it.
We look like we're all dressed in black and we all look like we hate our lives and we're like, it's pretty funny.
Sounds like it
Like
might
a
have been in the
funeral scene,
90s.
huh?
It's a pretty calm and dark
Oh my
rock.
God! Yeah, I'm gonna find that picture. You put a bug in my head right
you got
now.
Peter on a
I
mission to
put that
find that
picture,
to
I
show
found
us
that
all.
picture and posted it on Facebook one day. It's on the internet somewhere. I don't know where the physical picture of that poster is, but yeah, it was pretty.
I do have it. So you guys, you keep conversation. I'm gonna keep looking. It's somewhere in my
So Pamela,
recording
if you
studio.
could play in any venue in the world, where would that be and who would you like to headline or who would you like to open up for as your favorite
Red-
band to open up
Red
for?
Rocks Amphitheater, Colorado, before I
Yes!
die. That has to be done, even if it's only one song to open for somebody. And honestly, like Ashley McBride or Cody Jinks, Chris Stapleton, those are some of my ultimate favorite artists that are out there right now that I would love to open for.
Red Rocks is freaking awesome. I love that place. I'll go to Colorado just to go to Red Rocks.
Yeah, I've never even been there. I want to have a show. Even like I said, I could be one song. That's it. That would make my day right there.
Are you currently recording a new album by any chance?
I have an EP that's going to be dropping later this month. It's just a 3-song EP. I'm going to play you one of those songs off of it today, and then I have 2 other songs coming out on there, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah.
There are
And
2
where
of
would
the
we
songs.
find
2 of
that
the
song
songs.
at?
2 of the songs
ahead.
were recorded in Nashville, and then one of them was recorded in Spokane at Amplified Wax.
Oh, right on.
Interesting. Spokane, Washington, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
Where'd you do your recording in Nashville?
The first time around, we did it at Riverfront Studios. And then this time around, it was all done virtually because gas is too expensive to drive around the country. So, and my producer used to live in Nashville and he's based out of LA now. So I do the vocals in Idaho and he does the production and his bass parts in LA. And then he sends everything to Nashville. And I've got all Grammy Award winning team that plays on my album. So they all at their, whenever they have time in between all the other famous people like Luke Combs and Kenny Chesney, Pamela Jean gets scheduled in there for her stuff. And John Conley, who does my guitars, was actually in tour or on tour with Kenny Chesney in Tahoe, recording his parts from a hotel. So it's like everything this time was done completely virtually. And it's just really cool because I've kept in touch with all these guys in the last 10 years. And I got to keep the same band members in the studio that I had a decade ago when I recorded my first EP, Searching for Utopia. And I have all the same people on it now.
Oh, that's awesome.
With some additional people too. So yeah.
What part of Idaho did you say you were from? What city? I mean, maybe you don't want to say that in public. I have
I never
family in
tell
Idaho.
exactly where I'm at, but I've been in the Coeur d'Alene area for the last 5.5 years.
Oh, I love it in that area. I have family in Boise, Idaho, and I have some co-promoters and I have some venues over there that I book. So
Nice.
that's why I was asking. And yes, for security reasons, I can understand generality is really the best way to go. But appreciate that. I love Coeur d'Alene. I've been to Coeur d'Alene with my mom, and I used to sell insurance for family life insurance, and we traveled across a certain amount of states, and that happened to be one of the states. We would go to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and then we'd go to Montana and Nevada and California, and there was like 5 states that were around Oregon that we went to, in Boise, Idaho, that we were just kind of Wyoming, like ones that were like all over a specific amount of states. We had like 7, I think, we traveled to go sell insurance. It was a blast because it was like a vacation, and we went on a big national, like little mini tour.
Nice.
Are you gonna want to do a future national wide tour?
I've already done 5 states as a solo artist as myself. And the thing is I book all the shows, I drive myself. And by the way, here's my head of security. Where is she? There's Bella. Bella, you want to say hi?
Cute. I have little, she looks like she's really comfy.
She comes on tour with me. So yeah, I mean, of course I'd love to go nationwide, but it's very hard just going, a 5,000 mile, the biggest tour I did was 5 states, 18 cities, and I took 60 days to do it. And I got to be on a bunch of TV and radio interviews like this along the way. And I started off in Spokane on Fox News, and that's where I launched my tour. And then I quit my job. I put all my stuff in a closet. I paid my roommate at the time $50 a month to watch my stuff. And I did the tour in a 20-year-old Toyota Corolla with my one-eyed dog, the Corolla, and it was leaking tranny fluid. And I had to put tranny fluid in every few days to keep it running. And I went on a 5,000, it was like 5,300 mile tour.
Wow.
Just me and my dog, and stayed with friends and family along the way. And it was one of the most epic experiences I've ever had.
Oh, you picked the right car. You can't kill a Toyota.
No, that Toyota was amazing. By the way, Toyota, if you're listening, I'm looking to get sponsorship with a 4Runner, or not a 4Runner, the 4-door Toyota Tacoma Sport Edition.
Yep, those are really nice to have cars. Now, would you be interested by any chance? Would it be worth your time to get a booking in Washington State? Because I actually do book Washington State, and I have several venues. I'm actually helping Raven find some events here. She's going to be starting her tour here in April. She's actually going to be moving across to the west coast. Yay, I'm so happy about to hear that. She's going to move to California in February, and then she's going to be starting there's a little mini tour that she's been asked to do for April, that she's going to come to Washington State, and we're still in discussion of what we're going to do with that. And then she starts her national wide tour in October, and she's the headliner. Awesome. And she wants all sorts of artists to send her like a consideration, because she might take a new artist and let them, whatever state they're in, open up for her. She's going to consider some local bands.
I would love that. And I'm in the process of getting a full band back together again. So I'll let you know when that happens. But right now, as of now, I'm just a solo artist, just me and my guitar. But yeah, I mean, I play, a lot of my gigs are in Spokane and Spokane Valley. That's where about 90% of my shows are right now. So I'm definitely open to more.
Have you been booked at the Knitting Factory yet?
No, I'm trying to get in the Knitting Factory.
Okay, yes. I can help you on, no guarantees, but I do book the Knitting Factory, and I do book State Line.
Okay, State Line.
On the border.
those are both places I've tried to get into in the 5.5 years I've been up here. Obviously, you need a full band to play at both of those places, and I've only had a full band for a short period of time. So that's what my goal for 2023 is, to have the full band, hour-long opening set with all my original music, and be that opening headlining, or the act, the opening act for any headliner that's in my genre that comes through.
Well, when
Now,
you get ready, just like you said, reach out to me. I'll see what kind of bridge I can make for you and see what we can make happen.
That would be
I'll
awesome.
do my best to help.
That would be
also, when
awesome.
you're getting ready to go on tour, feel free to go to asgardradio.com, go to Asgard Connect, and we have a whole section. It's basically a rock and roll bed and breakfast. We got
Nice.
people all over the United States that, we background check our people and whatnot. We know our people. So,
Right.
and it's a place for you as a musician on tour to have a nice clean bed to sleep in, get a decent home cooked meal, do some laundry, take a shower, watch TV, hang out, whatever. But
That's
feel like
cool.
you're at an at-home atmosphere instead of paying $100 and something bucks out of your gig money for a hotel room.
Right. I actually bought a 23-foot travel trailer a few years back to tour in, which I did 11 states with that as well. But then my tow vehicle took a crap. So that's why I've got a really nice gas-friendly car right now. So I'm going to tour in that for a while. But that's why I want this Toyota Tacoma one day, where I can drag the RV around again when gas gets a little cheaper. And then I have my home on wheels, and then all I need is people's houses I can plug into the side and use their shower while I'm on the road. And I've got it
Right.
down to a science. Like, I'm a traveling
I want a
hippie.
conversion van myself. I want a conversion van. That's what I told
Yeah.
them.
What I
A
do is
conversion-
I stay at Flying J truck stop parking lots now, because you can stay there for free. Most of them let you stay
Yep.
as an RVer for free. And then for $13 in the morning, you go get a fresh shower with fresh towels, grab a breakfast sandwich, walk the dog, and I'm back on the road.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Just make sure you don't forget your shower shoes.
Right?
No, actually, really, I honestly, I've been looking for an old ambulance that still has the lights and sirens hooked up for a mobile studio.
That'd be cool.
Hell yeah. Get it all vinyl wrapped Asgard radio, and
That you could just go around interviewing people in different places in the mobile studio. That would be super awesome.
hell yeah. Take
So,
my vacation time every year just to drive and do a lap around the United States doing interviews.
Yeah.
Go see Peter.
Yeah, right. I know. We
Yeah.
all want to come. Peter, we're going to come and have a slumber party at your house, buddy.
Yeah, you are
Welcome
welcome.
party with you. I wanted to come and see you so bad this year for now, but it's just, I don't know, unless it depends on what happens with certain things with Raven and what we do, because we had other discussions the other day. But I did tell her about those discussions, so I'm sure she'll follow up with them later.
Yeah, well, you guys, you are welcome to come over to my recording studio, Cerman Music 3 here in Long Beach. Yeah, come and join me. And Pamela, last time I saw you was in Malibu Multimedia M3 studios with Matt Hughes, if you remember. We were doing something over there. That was in Huntington Beach, California. And then you moved to Montana or Idaho somewhere, if you remember,
Yeah.
Pam. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
a
the
while
last
ago.
time. That was,
Probably-
I'll tell you
least-
exactly. Like, that was probably like 13 years ago or 10 years ago at least.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Did I still live in San Diego then?
You lived in Oceanside at that point.
Oh yeah, so yeah, 12, probably 12 years ago, 10 at least.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, 10 at least. Yeah.
Yeah, because
I
I was
remember.
in NorCal for 4 years, and then I've been up in Idaho and Spokane for 5.5.
Okay. Yeah. Because you last place I remember was Oceanside, and then you said then you called me or text me. We had text messaging back then already. And you said oh, I'm moving out of California. I'm like, what? We're supposed to do another demo. And that's what we need to talk about. Remember, I was doing your first demo, 3 songs, I believe we did, in St. Paul rehearsal studio.
Yeah, Peter
Remember?
we had a song called Island Fantasy, and he had a bunch of music and I had a bunch of lyrics, and he didn't write lyrics and I didn't write music. And he just gave me some songs to take home. And I called him the next day. I'm like, I just wrote lyrics for this song. I know the song is somewhere on a CD in this basement in a tote with all of my old stuff I've been finding while I've been sorting things. And yeah, it
But
was
that
a
would
cool
be neat to find that and remix it and release it with you and Peter Cerman
Yeah,
collaboration.
I got to sing it on a TV show in Tampa. I lived in Florida for a couple years, and they had a cable TV show, and I actually got to go sing that song on that show
Awesome.
too.
I
I
got
didn't
the
have you
CD.
announce who you were, Peter, so we didn't make an introduction with either one of you. I apologize. You should maybe have a little introduction of who you are. And same with
I am,
Pamela again.
well, my name is Peter Cerman, and I'm musician, recording artist. And that's pretty much it. That's all I do. And recording studio owner.
And
And
you make
father,
signature guitars, right? Don't you
I
make
don't,
signature guitars?
Rebecca, I don't make signature guitars. I am endorsed by company
Oh, yours. Okay, that's well. Thank you for the clarification.
Manuel Rodriguez, who is making my signature guitars handmade in Toledo, Spain. So,
Ooh.
and
If you've never heard Peter play guitar, any of you who are new and listening out there, am I allowed to swear on this show? Or are we like PG or where were we at?
Say whatever the fuck you want.
Okay, well, Peter's seriously one of the most badass guitar players I've ever seen. Like, and that was
thank you.
20 years ago. So he's one of those that just closes his eyes and plays every note on the guitar and like
Peter
check
is a
him out.
badass. Sorry,
Yeah.
Pamela. I don't believe in censorship. I believe in free speech. Say whatever's on your mind. Just don't be
Well,
a dick.
I just like to find out because when I go on certain TV and radio interviews, I can't swear. So I just have to check my audience before I say anything.
Well, see, and honestly, that's one of the reasons why I'm on Asgard Radio. I mean, and I won't say names or nothing, but I've had offers from other stations and stuff, but they want to censor me and make me follow a script. And I'm sorry, I don't do that. I say what's on my mind and I say it.
Wow.
I've gotten
Chris-
trouble at shows. I've gotten trouble at shows before, so that's why I asked. I was like, if I'm at a 21 plus venue, I feel that you're allowed to pretty much say whatever
Yeah.
on the microphone.
So,
And I was playing at this piano bar one time, and the girl that was bartending, she walks over to the stage and hands me a note, and it says, "Don't say fuck on the microphone anymore, please." And I was like, okay, sorry. Like, I have a song that has that word in it, so what do you do?
I'm sorry. I'd have looked up right into the microphone. Well, why the fuck not?
yeah, why the fuck not? Yeah, that's exactly. Well, Pamela, one thing that Chris and I and Rebecca and Troy, when we are doing shop talk, what we say is like, we can say whatever the fuck we want to say, but we don't talk about politics and we don't talk about religion.
And-
Whatever
Right.
believes, right? And whatever people
Sure.
believes, we respect that. We don't talk about that, but anything, whatever the fuck you want to say, you say like, I just fucking nailed down new song recording. Okay,
Yeah.
you fucking nailed it down.
By the way, I do have a new song I just laid vocals down for that came out of Nashville a few days ago. We did it at Cider Mountain Studio up in Athol, Idaho, and it's called Here at Home. It's pretty much the title track for my upcoming EP, and it's a story about moving to North Idaho with California license plates on your car. So
Yeah, and Pam,
that'll be
remember?
a story for another time when the song comes out. Any of you that live up in the Pacific Northwest, you know the drill. By the way, I'm from Minnesota, if you haven't heard that already, so don't judge by my license plates I used to have.
Oh, well, like I understand the feeling because, I lived up in Illinois and now I live in Kentucky.
Yeah.
I go back up north, get pulled over every time. First thing they say, Kentucky, huh? Where's your guns at?
When I moved to Idaho, like half of you maybe don't even know the story, but I fled an abusive, very highly abusive, toxic relationship out of Northern California. My dad paid for my move and told me to get out of town that night because he didn't want me to be a statistic on the news. And I had already broke up with the guy. I got a place of my own and he wouldn't leave me alone. His friends wouldn't leave me alone. So I had never been to Oregon, Washington, Montana, or Idaho. And I'm like, I've been to 39 states. And I just was like, I've lived all over the country. I'm like, I'm going to go north and just see how it is. Well, I moved to Idaho with California license plates, and I had no clue that everybody and their mother was moving there. I had no clue the stigma. I had no idea about it. And I did not change my license plates for over a year. And I had a PO box in Washington, and I drive to get my mail once a month because I didn't want anyone to know where I moved because it was that scary. So the only people who even know that I ended up in Post Falls, Idaho was the roommate that I was renting from and my parents. They didn't even tell the rest of my family where I was at for safety reasons. And yeah, so I got pulled over 12 or 13 times in Idaho in the first year I got there. And for no reason at all, just because I had out of state plates. And I have to give them mad props, back the blue, the cops in Idaho. They never gave me a ticket. And I'm going to knock on wood right now because they might notice me next time and pull me over just for fun and be like, you were going 2 miles over the speed limit. But the police in Idaho are some of the most genuinely friendly, amazing people I've ever met. And by
They
the third
are.
time I got pulled over, I had all my stuff like ready to go. And they go, do you have any weapons in your car? And I said, no. And they're like, I go, I think I'm the only one in Idaho that doesn't own a gun. They go, no, we've seen like, 12-year-old kids don't have guns yet. But it was just funny because they're pulling me over left and right. And I'm like, they're like, any weapons? I'm like, my dog that's in the back seat, she's a weapon. And I'd step out of the car. I'm like, my dog is psycho. She's on guard in the car. Like, I want to hand you my stuff. And they're like, you are so organized. I go, yeah, because you guys pull me over like every other week. And I was like, yeah, I'm organized. Like, because my Toyota kind of looked like a tweaker car. I'm like, sorry, my car looks like shit and has the wrong state license plates on it. But I love the police in Idaho, just so you all know if you're watching out there.
Yeah, they were probably looking, see if you are doing like drug trafficking, drugs or whatever, because
yeah.
state of California, or if you have a Texas license plates, so maybe that's why you got pulled over like so many times.
Well, like I
12 or
said,
so.
it looked like a tweaker car. My car was falling apart at the seams. I had people that were trying to tell me I was homeless one time that I got pulled over. I'm like, no, just because all my belongings are in the car doesn't mean I'm homeless. I'm a touring musician.
Right? Yeah. Some people like to travel around.
Yeah.
Hell, you could go look at my car and think I'm homeless, but that's because, well,
Me too, because
I just leave crap in my car. I'll take my hoodie off midway through the day and just leave it in the car. And, my jacket, just leave it in the car. And once
The
a week,
moral
I'll
of my
collect them.
story is you cannot judge people by their license plates because it could be a rental car. They could be from another state. And we all live in America for shit's sake. Like, let's all just get along and welcome each other to each other's states. And if I'm in Florida with Idaho license plates or, nobody says anything. They're like, oh my God, you look like you're so far from home. Here's $20 for gas. Like, I don't travel around looking homeless, but people know I'm a musician and they know I don't have a lot of money. And people have prayed with me by my car before, given me gas money. They're like, I hope your car makes it to the next state. And I'm like, it's a Toyota. We're fine. We're fine.
Oh.
Good. And Pamela, I remember the first couple songs that we did going back to the island was the one that I wrote the music. You wrote the lyrics and melody for that. And so that was kind of a collaboration between you and I. But we did two of your songs that was kind of like a country. And I remember Out There was one of them.
Yeah,
and I still have a CDs.
And
the
probably
other
Broken.
Broken, yeah.
Those
Broken
are
and
the
Out
only,
There.
those are the, when I was in the band with you, those are the only two songs I'd ever written yet.
Yeah, because I remember I was doing some background music for you, and it was just like a 16 track that we were using, just something really simple, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, out there's done and out there with the full Nashville band, if anybody wants to hear it.
I heard that one.
We do. She's got her guitar ready. I'm ready for her to warm up and
Yeah, I was
start
gonna
playing
say,
something.
yeah, now I'm really ready to hear some music here. You have great guitar there. Let's see what you got to sing for
Well,
us.
this is Whiskey Wasted.
Yes.
The song that's released out of Nashville. For any of you watching Sunday Fun Dayers, where's all my whiskey drinkers at tonight?
Hold on, I got we're live on Twitch. JD's in the chat, and he's actually from Minnesota. He lives.
What's up, JD? Horns up.
I want to say he lives it's over by Red Wing.
I'm from Forest Lake is where I spent most of my life.
Okay.
Hi, JD.
Hi, JD. Thanks for tuning
Winona,
in.
that's the name of the place, Winona. It is right next to Red Wing, though.
Yeah.
Minnesota is a fun place.
For 3 months out of the year.
Yeah, 10,000 lakes,
Well,
ice fishing and snowmobiling.
I remember when I was a kid, I was in this group home, and in the summer, we would go up to a place in Minnesota called Camp Knutson. And it was just really, really awesome. We got to hang out, do water skiing and stuff. And it was a Christian themed camp. So, you know, we did Bible study and stuff like that. But one year when we went up there at the end of the week, the weather and everything was just right. And we got to see the Northern Lights out of northern Minnesota.
Nice. You know, of all the places I've lived, that's the only place I've ever seen them was back home. We would camp at the river a lot in the summertime. I mean, you'd come home looking like you had chicken pox from mosquito bites, but we'd sit on this train track at the river and you could see the Northern Lights just go crazy in the summertime.
Hell yeah. Skull, JD. But so what are you going to play for us tonight?
So I'm going to play Whiskey Wasted. This is my latest single that just came out of Nashville. It's already had radio play on KYRS out of Spokane. Everyone who's been to a live show knows this one by heart, and they've been calling me the whiskey girl around town. I don't even drink whiskey. This is a run-in I had one night with some Fireball. I love when the fireball hits your eyes. Everything just comes out, your reckless wild side. You pull me in with no regrets. Spilling beans you haven't spilled yet. It's been some years since you touched my lips. I get more passion when we kiss. Because we're whiskey wasted. Bring it around, you know I don't want to waste it. Because we're whiskey wasted. Spin it around, you know I gotta taste it. We're whiskey wasted. Whiskey wasted. One more shot glass from the crowd. It kept me warm as the sun went down. Took a little break from my Chardonnay. Joined with a shot glass and spirit light. Because we're whiskey wasted. Bring it around, you know I don't want to
Hell yeah!
That was awesome.
I'm gonna have to
Very
send you my
good.
email.
Pamela Jean,
I
that was
have official
amazing.
whiskey wasted drink cups out there too.
Nice. Hey, Chris, I think we got another new song for Whiskey
I,
Wednesday
I,
now,
I was
right?
gonna say I'm gonna send you my email address. I'm gonna need a copy of that for Whiskey Wednesday.
Heck yeah, thank
Uh,
you.
Where can we get the whiskey
Oh.
wasted cups from? Where can we find your merch?
So if you're on Facebook or Instagram, just look up Pamela Jean Unlimited. Send me a message. I have drink cups. I've got stickers. I have koozies, hats, t-shirts, the whole 9 yards. This is the official Whiskey Wasted photo here. I've got autographed posters. That's Jeremiah Philippi that took this photo. Yeah, so I have a full clothing line. I've got necklaces. I make rock necklaces. So I've got my Whiskey Wasted
Ooh.
jelly that my friend Robin makes. It's a fireball infused candy apple homemade jelly that we do for my
Ooh, that
shows as
sounds
well.
awesome.
So yeah, Whiskey Wasted. I mean, I have merch for every song, but Whiskey Wasted by far has the most merch because it's the best song that everybody loves the most.
Well, Pamela, you know, one thing I'm gonna say is I can't believe how far you got. I didn't hear you live performing. I heard some of your recording stuff that you sent me through Facebook or Messenger. But this was absolutely awesome what you did with that Whiskey Wednesday. You know, how far you got, you know, it's so amazing. Like there was no pitch problems as far as your vocals. There was no guitar problems as far as playing the chords and guitar. There was no tempo issues. There was no one single thing I could pick. If I was Simon Cowell on AGT, I would say, Pamela Jean, you've got 4 yeses. Welcome
Simon's
to
probably gonna
AGT.
kick me off the
You
show.
You
He
should-
doesn't like the Vikings or something.
You should audition for AGT or The Voice. I am not joking right now.
Yes.
You know, I
I'll
was
take
joking
this
with.
audition. They just sent me all that information because I do music, you know, connections with production and such and so. And I'm also an agent, so they send me all sorts of auditions, and they literally just sent me something for virtual voice call for
Nice.
Yeah,
that, and then
and The
there's
Voice.
also covers.
And The Voice, Blake Shelton, he's from your kind of style of music, country music. Blake
Mhm.
Shelton would love you to
Right, you
pieces.
would. For
I mean,
sure.
you got the whole stage presence. You got the look. You got the voice. You can play guitar. You can keep the tempo. You got the whole package, Pamela. Come on,
Thank you.
seriously, stand up. And you need to go on Voice because Blake Shelton, he's in charge now, or AGT, or both of them. Audition, seriously.
Yeah. I'm with Peter on that one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I was gonna say we do got to wrap it up soon because I know Peter's got something he's got to go do in the studio tonight, and I got to go frost the cake in just a little bit here. But Pamela, feel free to like I said, plug yourself. Where can we find you on social media?
So easiest way is Pamela Jean Unlimited because you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook under Pamela Jean Unlimited. Just click like, subscribe, follow, and please share with your friends. I'm a 100% independent artist. I pay for all my own merch. I pay for all my own tours. I pay for everything in the studio. I'm still making payments on my last music video I just released. Like, we are independent artists, and this is from the ground up. I design like my business cards, my posters. By the way, the stuff that you've seen with Whiskey Wasted, my friend Tanya with her creative art studio, Lady
Oh,
of
that's
Pearls,
nice.
the name of the studio. She hand paints all my designs for my logos, and then we turn
Wow.
them into stuff to do on cups and stuff. So without her, I'd have no clothing line because I can't paint or draw for shit. So I have friends along the way that have their own talents that we're all combining our forces to just make more merch and stuff like that. If you're on Spotify, I'm desperately trying to grow my Spotify because I found out that's where things are at these days. I'm old, okay? So for you young people watching, like we used to listen on cassette tapes. So I don't know where you all listen, but Spotify apparently is the place. Pamela Jean, just like you see it on this screen up here, Jean, not unlimited. On Spotify, it's just my artist name. So look at Pamela Jean on Spotify and then Pamela Jean Unlimited everywhere else. And if you want to see the 3 music videos I have out, PamelaJeanUnlimited.com. I have one for Small Country Town, which touches about domestic violence. Gemini's is just a fun, lighthearted video that everybody was drinking when we filmed it and had a great time. And then Falling deals with battling drug and alcohol addiction. And that one's a very serious video, close to my heart as well. So if you want to see the videos, please check those out at PamelaJeanUnlimited.com.
Very well said. And very last thing I would say to all of our listeners and watchers, please go and check out Pamela Jean and get on her website and help her. Buy her merch, buy her songs. You know, that's what's going to help her. We need this kind of attack. I would call it attack financially to help artists like Pamela Jean. And she is a hardworking lady. I know this girl for like 22 years. Please help her, support her with your, you know, even if you buy a small mug or t-shirt, that's going to help her. That's going to add up. So please go and check out Pamela Jean Unlimited and help her out. Thank you very much, everybody who is listening and watching this show.
Yeah,
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
who's tuned in, we really appreciate you. Thank you guys for letting me come on your show for Asgard Radio.
No, thank you for joining us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a blast hanging out tonight with Pamela Jean. We heard Whiskey Wasted, and we are going to be hearing it on Whiskey Wednesdays on AsgardRadio.com. Hi, I'm Chronic Chris from Asgard Radio. With me always on Sunday nights, Rebecca Kelly Hartnett, Peter Cerman, world-renowned recording artist, and tonight, Pamela Jean. I appreciate everyone hanging out with us tonight, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll send you some of those auditions and other things in your DM, okay?